Welcome back, guys, to Chucky's Hobbies. I'm just doing a little bit of maintenance on my Tamiya Grasshopper for the speed run challenge. Just wanted to show you guys what I kind of want to try for the Grasshopper here. My workbench is a bit of a mess, but I ordered some oil-filled shocks, but I'm waiting for them. They're still not in. They're coming on the slow boat, I guess, from China. But I decided to try and see if I can make the stock shocks feel better. So when they don't have nothing in them, they kind of just bounce a lot. And what I've done is I've taken a little O-ring. They're leftover O-rings from my yaw racing shocks that I used last year for the speedrun challenge. These shocks are a little too stiff for the Grasshopper, so I tried running them earlier, but they don't quite work, and they're a little short and whatever. But while I'm waiting for my oil-filled shocks to come in, I've decided to put an O-ring inside the shock body. These O-rings fit just to stay inside the shock body, and they actually won't push through if you put them on the screw first. You actually have to put them in kind of flushing square and then push them down with the screw, and once it bottoms out, your screw will go through. And all it does is it just makes just a little slight resistance on the shock shaft, and actually makes the shock kind of action a little slower. What I noticed to do, and what I did with my other one, is I'm just gonna put a small drop of shock oil. Nothing crazy. This one's 25 weight low C oil. All that's doing is it's just lubricating that O-ring so it slides even better. So you could probably try different types of shock oils to see which one slows down the action properly or not. I'm starting with 25 weight. Maybe even dry might be fine, just to have more of a restriction. What this does, though, is it does shorten up the shock by 2 millimeters. So if you don't want a shorter shock, that might not be an option for you guys. But yeah, I just screwed them back in, which is a pain a little bit because now your spring rate's a little tighter. And it acts more like a oil-filled shock, even though it's not oil-filled. And it just slows down the action just a tad to try and limit that bouncing that the Grasshopper does. Another good tip is making sure both shocks are the same length, just so they push the same. Because if you don't thread them all the way in the same way, they actually push differently on the rear axle. Now with a Grasshopper is a little different because it is solidly mounted in the front, but with a Hornet it would actually tweak the chassis a little bit. And that's it. So once I put them on the car, I'll come back in and I'll show you guys that it's not as bouncy as what it was before. Okay, so I have the shocks back onto the car. They're a little hard to see with this rear wing that I have mounted here, but I feel like it's not as bouncy. Now the front's still bouncy, and that's nothing that I can really fix because there's no way to squish a O-ring and not have it moved when the shock shaft goes through the front suspension. But in the rear, it seems to have calmed down the springiness I find on the car. And here's just how I mounted my wing if you guys were looking on trying to put a wing that's going to put pressure on the rear tires and only on the rear tires and not affect the suspension. So it's the axle brace that you can get anywhere. I am not using the bar across because I had to move my shocks from... I moved my shocks back so I can lower the cars a little bit as well. So all I have is these are servo mounts from, I forget which car, but they're just a plastic servo mount. The only reason why I'm using that compared to like an aluminum one, which I had tried earlier, is for the clearance for the screws. So I had these servo mounts in there at first, but the screw clearance here is the problem. So I found these servo mounts out of my box. I believe they're old school, like Tamiya servo mounts for something, but I'm not 100% sure. And then for a spacer, just to space the wing up, the reason why it's below the body is these screws don't pass past the body without cutting it, and I don't really want to cut the body right now as it sits. So I went as high as I wanted for the wing and to clear my tires. That's another thing too, right? It'll only clear so much of a tire before it gets into the chassis. And I still have the suspension travel. It'll hit the wing once it's bottomed out, but that's the only thing that's stopping it. So pretty much these spacers here that are holding the wing in, so this is a full length screw that goes all the way down into here. The spacers are actually from a TLR 22 5.0 rear hub. So I had just some spare spacers. They were the right height, and then I have a small 3mm shim underneath the wing itself. And what this wing is doing is putting pressure onto the axle itself. It does push a little bit the front end up, and that's why I got the wheelie bar, right? And yeah, it seems to stabilize the car big time, because last night I took the wing off because I'm like, oh, it's got too much drag. Let's see if I can get a little bit more out of my 13.5. And yeah, taking off the wing did make the car faster, but it was a handful to drive, and I did end up crashing it. Didn't actually get a faster speed out of it. It got hairy real quick when I got on the throttle. So anyways, yeah, just a little bit of maintenance for my car till I can get back out and try again. The front end's pretty much the same. I do have a different motor in there. It is a Team Zombie drag motor, 2-pole. Trying to get you a sneak peek in there, but we're just gonna leave it like that. And yeah, that's what's going in there right now. I'll probably be running it at the just no timing 2-cell, but should be a handful for sure. And then we'll go from there. Hopefully break into the 80s before the end of the competition. Right now 72 is my best. I know Nick, you just got me by 1 mile an hour last night, so you got me right now. I haven't seen Dave post up a time yet. I know he's got a fast car. He was in the 80 some miles an hour before we even started, so I'd like to see that guy post some times up, because his car is dialed. He's got it just completely stock, nothing done to it. Obviously this chassis can go fast with just the right settings and the right motors, just to make the car just nice and smooth. That's all you got to do with this 2-wheel drive. I noticed as soon as I started putting too much power in, like to try and get it to up to speed faster, it would just upset the car. But with this rear wing, hopefully I can put the power down a little quicker. My spot's getting a little short now. Now that I'm in the 70s, it gets pretty short pretty quick, and it's the shutdown too for a lot of guys. I noticed that my biggest factor for slowing down and not spinning out is I've turned down my brakes. I think in my speed controller right now, brakes are at 40%, I think, and drag brakes at 15%. So I let off the gas, wait half a second before I hit my brakes, and then I can kind of ease into the brakes fully, and it slows me down. Anyways, that's my update for today. No speed runs for me today, I believe. Have some other family obligations tonight. I usually can only run my car at night at the spot I'm at. Even though school's out, there's still a lot of people there during the day doing summer maintenance and whatnot, and the parking lot kind of, it's not that I could still go. It's just I don't like having cars parked in the line of fire, and I would feel really bad losing control and taking out someone's car and breaking my car on someone's car. So yeah, so this will be it for me for the first week, and I'll try and maybe do like an update video after every week, just to see if I've improved or not. And yeah, you guys have a good weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.